Hi everyone, today we're going to explore another amazing zoo, this time in the capital of Scotland, called Edinburgh Zoo. So let's go and journey through this truly awesome zoo together. We're Phill and Fang around the world, and welcome to this video. We've got a fun day ahead with lots of useful tips and information about this zoo. So let's get started with this full guide of Edinburgh Zoo. And we've got a couple of VIP guests joining us on this visit today, and that's my mum and dad, Susie and Docky, as well as our son Bruno, who was 10 months old on this trip. First up, we'll have a look at how we're going to navigate around this park today, which is through this map of Edinburgh Zoo, and I think the best way will be to take you around the same route that we did to see all these fantastic animals together. So what are you looking forward to seeing the most?
Your friend, monkey.
What about you?
Monkeys. Yes.
So we're all in agreement. Let's go and see the monkeys. These aren't just any monkeys. These are Japanese macaque, if I'm pronouncing that correctly, which is a species of monkeys, or snow monkeys to be more specific. And these clever little primates are famous for the red faces and love of soaking in the hot springs during Japan's freezing winters. And even though we're in Scotland, this habitat recreates the natural mountain environment.
Hello, man. Come on.
And they live in a tight-knit family group, and if you watch closely, you can see them grooming each other. That's their way of bonding.
Oh, dear me.
As well as bonding in other ways. They're playful, social, and surprisingly smart. And I'll drop in a few little facts about some of these animals as we go through this video. And some of these snow monkeys have even learnt to wash sweet potatoes before eating them. And we'll go and take a walk to see the next animal now, which is penguins. This area is amazing. It's called Penguin Rock, and it's Europe's largest outdoor penguin pool, with over 100 penguins calling it home. And this colony of penguins here include a few different varieties, including the king, gento and rockhopper species. And I'll throw in a little fact about these penguins now, and that is that here at Edinburgh Zoo, it was the first in the world to house and breed penguins, which symbolises the zoo's long history of caring for penguins, dating all the way back to 1913. The penguins' social nature and playful energy makes them one of the most beloved attractions here. And these flightless birds are perfectly adapted for life in the water. They use the wings as flippers to glide through the pool effortlessly. And that's the rockhopper penguins there, which have those funny yellow feathers that stick out like eyebrows. And we didn't see it, but there's a daily penguin parade where they waddle through the zoo. If that's of interest, it might be worth checking out the zoo's website to see what time it is, as well as to get the prices on what it costs to get in here. And you can see on the screen now the price to get in here, although like most places you can get it cheaper if you book online, and that's the price to come here if you do book online, and that's the price of what it costs if you bring your car. Right, back to the zoo now, and just a stone throws away from the penguin enclosure is the mighty rhino. And we're just walking into the rhino house now, which had a rather pungent smell to it, it's got to be said. And the rhino wasn't in here, so we went outside to see if we could spot him. Out there in this rare Scottish sunshine. And these gentle giants can weigh up to 2 tons, and that single horn is made of keratin, which is the same thing as our hair and nails. And next up, we'll go and see the capybara. These are the gentle giants of the rodent world, native to South America. Don't worry though, they're super gentle and love to chill by water. They're really sociable animals too, and they often live in groups, and you'll usually find them hanging out with other species. And we shall move on now to go and see these Przewalski horses. These are actually the world's last truly wild horses. They're not descended from domestic ones. They come from the grasslands of Mongolia. And they were once thought to be extinct in the wild, but thanks to conservation efforts, they've made a comeback. They're a little bit shorter, as you can see, and stockier than regular horses. And it's a steep walk around this part of the zoo, but there's plenty of places where you can sit down and have a rest. And we'll move on now to see the next animal for today, which is the giraffes. And there's no rest for us on this whirlwind tour of Edinburgh Zoo. Now you can't miss these giants, the giraffes, standing over 5 metres tall. That's taller than a double-decker bus. And those long necks aren't just for show, though. They help them reach leaves high up in the trees that other animals can't get to. And these are Nubian giraffes, one of the tallest animals on Earth and a subspecies of the northern giraffe. And here at Edinburgh Zoo, they've got a great view over the city while snacking on the favourite acacia branches. Not a bad life, right? And a fun fact about these creatures is every giraffe has a unique spot pattern, a bit like a fingerprint. And next up now, we'll go and see the giant Anteater. This is one of the most unusual animals at the zoo, the giant Anteater with that long snout and shaggy tail. They look like something out of the prehistoric age. And despite the size and powerful claws, anteaters are a gentle and solitary creature who spend most of the time foraging quietly through the grasslands. And the shaggy tails not only to provide balance, but also doubles up as a blanket for sleeping. So next up, let's go and take a walk to see the zebras. These are Grevy zebras, which are absolutely stunning animals and the largest of all zebra species. And you can tell them apart by the narrow stripes and white bellies. They come from the dry grasslands of East Africa, and a little fact about these creatures is that they can go for days without water, which is pretty impressive. And another impressive thing about Edinburgh Zoo is the Dinosaur Trail that I have here. And we'll go and have a little walk on this trail now. It's a great stop, especially if you've got kids or if you're just a big kid at heart like me. It's fun, a bit educational, and it adds a surprise twist to this zoo adventure. And as you can see, it features life-size anatomic dinosaurs, complete with sound and movements. And there's 15 dinosaurs that you can try and find on this trail, including gentle giants like the Brachiosaurus, to one of the largest carboneous dinosaurs of the early Jurassic period, the Dilophosaurus, as well as aquatic dinosaurs from the sea, like these Mosasauruses. And I'll hand you back over to me and Bruno to tell you where we're going to go next. So now we are going to see the tigers. We're getting on to some of the animals that we were looking forward to seeing the most here at Edinburgh Zoo, including the Sumatran tigers, which are a smaller species of tiger when compared to the likes of the Bengal or Siberian tigers. But don't be fooled by the small size, because they're incredibly powerful and stealthy hunters, as well as being one of the rarest tiger species in the world. See if we can see some tigers. I think they're all sleeping. And yes, unfortunately, they were all sleeping. It's recommended to come and see the tigers early morning. Sleeping. And we'll move on now from one big cat to another to go and see the king of the jungle, the lions. Here you'll find Asiatic lions, a species even rarer than African lions. One in particular called Giendra, who was born at Bristol Zoo, and as if by magic, we've made a video on Bristol Zoo, which you can check out if you like on our channel, as well as other zoos like Singapore Zoo and Safari World in Bangkok. But getting back to Edinburgh Zoo now, and a little fact about these lions is they can sleep up to 20 hours a day. Next up, we've got the Gelada Baboon. The Gelada, sometimes called the bleeding heart monkey or the Gelada Baboon, is a species of Old World monkey that's native to Ethiopia. And up on this hillside enclosure we meet these Gelada baboons, which are the only monkeys that mostly eat grass. And if you see the red patch on the chest, that's how they attract a mate. Now we'll head over to one of the most popular stops at Edinburgh Zoo to see the koalas. Did you know koalas aren't actually bears? They're marsupials. Coming all the way from Australia, Edinburgh Zoo's the only zoo in the UK where you can see these koalas, which makes this an extra special stop. And they've got a special diet too. They only eat eucalyptus leaves, which actually don't give them much energy. That might explain why they're so chilled out most of the time. And next up we'll go and see another animal native to Australia. Can you guess what it is? We're just walking into Wallaby Outback now, which is where you can find both the kangaroos and the wallabies. See any kangaroos, mate? It's a lovely little walk around here. And the wallabies are a smaller cousin to the kangaroo. At first glance, they look quite similar. But wallabies are shorter and stockier with a softer fur and a much more colourful coat. And just near here, you might be able to spot the Turkmenian Markhor. Now these animals are a type of wild goat found in the Rocky Mountains of Central Asia, and just look at those incredible twisted horns. They can grow up to 1 metre long and are used for both defence and showing off during mating season. The Markhor's an amazing climber. They can scale steep cliffs with ease, and a fun fact about these are that they're the national animal of Pakistan. And when it's time for a break, there's plenty of places to grab food or a coffee. You've got the Penguin Cafe, as well as the Grasslands restaurant near the giraffes, and smaller snack huts dotted around for quick bites and ice creams or drinks. And there's even indoor seating area if the Scottish weather decides to show up. Back to see some animals now, and next up is the Malayan Sun Bear. Here we are at the Malayan Sun Bear. These are great climbers and they love to use the long tongues to get honey out of trees, which is why they're sometimes called honey bears. And that's just a quick stop, and we'll move on to see the Pygmy Hippopotamus now. Now here's something you don't see every day, the Pygmy Hippopotamus. They might look like the mini version of the common hippo, but they're actually a separate species. Also in this building are turtles, which might move slowly, but they've been around for more than 200 million years, which is even longer than the dinosaurs. Now get ready for some noise, because just a stone throws away from this building is the buff-cheeked gibbons. These amazing apes are famous for the loud calls, which can be heard right across the zoo. They're full of energy and personality and always a joy to watch. And next up, we'll take you to go and see the ring-tailed lemurs. These cheeky guys come all the way from Madagascar, and you can always spot them by the long black and white striped tails. They love to sit in the sun with their arms out, which makes it look like they're meditating, but they're really just warming up.
Oh yeah!
And now we'll go and see one of Britain's oldest goats, the Bagot Goat. These eye-catching goats are tough little animals. They were only bred to survive rough, rocky landscapes, so Edinburgh hills suit them just fine. And this place isn't just about animals, it's a fun day out for all the family. There's several great play areas that are dotted around the zoo where kids can burn off some energy. In between the exhibits and near the top of the hill, there's a large adventure playground with slides and climbing frames, perfect for the little explorers. And you'll also find smaller play zones near the penguin enclosure and around the picnic spots. And there's also plenty of toilets throughout the park as well, including ones with baby changing facilities, which is good if you've got a little one like us. And next up is another rare type of goat called the Chinese goral. Now this fella looks like a mix between a goat and an antelope. They live in the mountains of China and Southeast Asia, and they're built for steep rocky cliffs. And we've got another good climber coming up next, which is the red panda. These are really cute animals if you can get a glimpse of them.
Can't see any.
Fortunately, there was a woman to point out where one was.
Really jump. They walk along branches and things. And in fact, just this summer, they trimmed back a lot of the trees that were getting quite big.
Yes.
We couldn't get a great view of those red pandas, but we can of this next animal, the flamingos. Now these are like the fashion models of the bird world, and I've always wondered why they always stand on one leg. And it is actually to keep them warm by tucking one leg up to conserve body heat. Meerkats coming up next. Always on lookout duty, they take turns guarding while the rest play or dig. They're from the deserts of southern Africa, so they're used to hot, dry conditions. That's why they love basking in the sun. And another animal that loves sniffing around and digging next is the red river hog. If you look at the colour, it's a vibrant reddish orange, and I like the little tufts of white hair on its face. It almost looks like it's got a moustache.
Wow.
Overall, this zoo's got everything you need for a fun full day. Amazing animals, plenty of places to rest, and lots of things to keep everybody entertained. And as is customary, you've got to keep the wife happy. And fortunately for me, she's easily pleased. I've just got to buy her a cuddly toy now and then.
I just chose this one, which is an Anteater.
So as I pay for that, we can start wrapping this video up now. I hope you've enjoyed this walk around of Edinburgh Zoo with us. I'll put a few outtakes up at the end of this video as well and give you our final thoughts of this place. Was it worth it? Yes, I'd definitely say so. Was it value for money? I'd say yes too. Although if I did live around here, I'd consider getting the membership. I think that would be a better option. And I'd like to give a shout out to my mum and dad now for bringing us here. So thank you for that, mum and dad. And if you like zoos, theme parks, aquariums, or just travel in general, we've got lots of videos on our channel.
So what was your favourite animal in the zoo?
Me? Auntie.
Anteater.
Anteater.
What was your favourite animal in the zoo, Mum?
Giraffe.
What was your favourite animal in the zoo, Dad? Koala. Is everybody having a nice time at the zoo? You enjoying the zoo?
Beautiful though.
So I'd just like to say thank you very much for watching, and as always, we shall see you on the next video.